Hi friends. So we've looked at graphing piecewise functions by hand, like using graph paper and that type of thing. Now I want to show you how you can do it in your calculator, how you can use your calculator to graph a piecewise function. So you see I have one here, 2x plus 3 when x is less than negative 2, or x squared when x is greater than or equal to negative 2. So let's pull up a calculator here. And there's several different ways you can approach this. So if you have learned another way and you prefer that way, that's fine. But this is the way that I'll be handling it in class. The simplest thing, I think, is since we have two equations, 2x plus 3 and x squared, is to plug this in as 2y equals. In other words, I'm going to take this equation and plug it in y1, and this equation and plug it in y2. So first, let's look at the 2x plus 3. I plug in 2x plus 3. And then to let it know you're about to do this part, you need to do divided by and then do parentheses. Okay, so don't think of this so much as divided by as much as a slash. You're really just communicating to the calculator something different is about to come. And you can plug in x is less than negative 2. So you do that obviously by hitting x. And then to find the less than button, if you look right here, there's a little blue that says test. You go second test. And in this case, the less than is the fifth one down. I do negative 2. Okay, so if you look at the graph, notice it draws the line, but it stops it right here at negative 2, which is perfect. It's exactly what we want. So now let's plug the second equation in, x squared. We do a divided by, and then parentheses, x second test. This time I need greater than or equal to, so that's 4, negative 2. Close the parentheses. So now if we look at the graph, you can see how we have our linear part, the 2x plus 3, all the way up until negative 2. And we have the x squared starting at negative 2 and then going on out to infinity. Now just so you know, the calculator is not going to help you with open circle and closed circles. So you're just going to have to remember and pay attention if you have to sketch this on your own, that the open circle will happen here. So we'd have an open circle right there at that spot because this has just the less than. This would be a closed dot or a closed circle because it's greater than or equal to. So the one with the equal to gets the closed dot. The one that doesn't have equals to just gets the open circle. So let's try one more. I'm going to look at this equation. Now this one has 3, so this one's going to require us to do a little bit differently. So if I go back to y equals, we'll just clear out the 2 we have there. And since I have 3 equations, I'm going to use y1, y2, and y3. So first, in y1 I have x, and I do divided by, parentheses, x, second test, less than is the fifth one down, 0. Close the parentheses. So we hit enter. And then this is the tricky one. X cubed, we're only wanting to do between 0 and 2. So watch carefully how we'll do this. We'll do x cubed divided by, or slash, parentheses, and I'm going to write this very similar to how I see it. So I'm going to do 0 less than or equal to x first. So 0, second test, less than or equal to x. Now, the calculator can't handle all that at once. So what I'm going to do is just start with this. I'm going to start by telling it this part, 0 is less than or equal to x. I'm going to close the parentheses, and then start a new parenthesis, and then say x is also less than 2. So you're really splitting this up in two pieces. You're saying, okay, well 0 is less than or equal to x, and x is less than 2. So I do x less than 2. Okay, so that takes care of these first two. Now the last one, 4x, I do divided by, or slash, parentheses, x greater than or equal to 2. We look at our graph, and it worked perfectly for us. We've got the straight line y equals x all the way up till 0, which is what this says. We have x cubed from 0 to 2, so it's a curved line. But then, starting here, it's a little hard to tell. We can zoom out if you want to. Let's just change our window a little bit. We'll make it maybe 20s. I apparently did something wrong. Let's try that one more time. Let's see. X max should have been 20. Sorry about that. That should work better. Okay, so that's a little easier to see. We've got y equals x here till 0. Got a little bit of a curve from 0 to 2, and then another straight line for x from 2 and beyond. So that's how to do them in your calculator. Just make sure you use this pattern. Particularly pay attention when you've got ones like these where it's really two statements, 0 less than or equal to x and x less than 2. You have to separate them by parentheses and you have to put x both times.